Hello and welcome to the Big Reviewski with Chicago Town Pizza. My name's Owen, there's Rory, and we can't move at the moment because we have eaten too many Brussels sprouts over the last few days. Now, we know if you've been gorging yourself at home, that's fine, but we know you always have room for Christmas free pizza. If you do want to get your hands on that Christmassy free pizza, all you have to do is head over to the Big Reviewski Twitter account and enter our competition there. And now, though, it's time for this week's show, and we know that you've probably checked out our top 10 Christmas hidden gems already. You've maybe been watching festive films, at least 3 or 4 a day. But Rory, what do we have today to just mix things up a little bit?
So we're going to be looking back through all of 2021, the 27 months of this year, the 175 weeks, the 3,000
This is good.
days of 2021. Happiness to bring you the 10 best shows of 2021 so far, because we've got that window where days mean nothing. Like, what day is it? If it's not Christmas Day and it's not Stephen's Day, if it's not New Year's Eve and it's not New Year's Day, no one knows what day it is. We start referring to everything as dates. We don't understand what work is or what anything is until around January 7th or 8th. So we've got a lot of stuff to watch while we've got all this stuff to eat. And starting off, it's one that I think has completely flown under the radar, and it's one of the most charming and entertaining shows of the year. It's The Chair. I will admit that the concept isn't terribly sexy. It's about a lady who's played by Sandra Oh, who becomes the first chair of the English department of an American college, and the trials and tribulations of taking up that position. Doesn't sound great, but will admit that it is so entertaining. Sandra Oh, I could just watch her read the phone book. She's just fantastic. And there's just something very witty and intelligent and emotional, and as I mentioned, very, very funny about this particular story. I think it's only 6 or 7 episodes. I think every episode is only about 20 minutes, so you will literally zip through it in one afternoon. Can't recommend it enough. Just really, really charming.
Our second pick is Only Murders in the Building, and if you're obsessed with true crime podcasts or true crime TV shows or movies or just murders in general, then you're absolutely going to love this show. A triple whammy lead of Steve Martin Short, and Short Selena Gomez as 3 neighbors in a really swanky New York apartment block. And whenever there's a grisly murder of one of their other neighbors, they kind of band together using their true crime obsessiveness to get to the bottom of the murder mystery themselves. This is just a gorgeous wee comedy caper across 10 episodes. Again, like The Chair, short enough episodes as well. So if you're in for a wee treat across like 1 or 2 afternoons over this, time where time actually doesn't exist, then this is the one for you. You just can't beat it. Not even with a big blunt object to the back of the head.
I think I talked about this one to death on JOE.ie. I think I might have written conservatively 1,000 articles about the greatness of Mare of Easttown. Kate Winslet just really nailing that peculiar accent. There's certain words and you hear it, it just ends in a way that, words shouldn't end, and they just all nail it so magnificently. It's on the other end of the scale of a murder mystery plot, because this one is it's centered at something that's kind of has torn a town apart, and she is the detective in the town that's trying to solve this series of crime against young women in the town. Filled with magnificent performances. Jean Smart, who, oh my God, I know she's been around forever, but it just seems like lately everyone's like, wait a second, Jean Smart is amazing, let's put her in everything. And everything she's in, she's been amazing. And Evan Peters, just everyone in it is fantastic. Definitely will be rewatching this one, because even after the mystery is solved, there's just so many layers to the relationships with everyone in this. So just phenomenal from start to finish.
Created, written, and directed by Mike White. He was in School of Rock. This is The White Lotus. It's all about the seedy, dirty underbelly of a seemingly perfect and idyllic Hawaiian vacation resort for the super wealthy. And there's one thing everybody loves. It's seeing rich people kind of get their comeuppance for the most part. There's 7 super episodes in this series. This is just gorgeous TV making. There's so much to love about it. The location, the music, the ensemble cast. But if you're going to go for one reason and one reason only, go for the amazing stealing performance and acting masterclass from Jennifer Coolidge. She is absolutely hilarious and heartbreaking in equal measure.
Speaking of the ultra rich getting their comeuppance, we're on to the 3rd season of Succession, and everyone was probably thinking, gosh, like it can't get any better than what it was already. Like how can it? Like we'd just be happy if it's as good. And no, it's better. It's better than it's ever been. And it is one of the few shows out there that when you hear the opening credits music, you're like, all right, I'm triggered, and I know I'm gonna have a good time. Like just listen. That's phenomenal. That's all you need.
Our next pick is so stupid. It's so dumb, but at the same time, it is so genius and incredibly unpredictable. It is I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson season 2. Now, both seasons are available to watch on Netflix. Each episode is only about 15, 16 minutes long, 12 episodes altogether. So you're literally looking at about 3 hours worth of TV. So it's shorter. Like if you were planning like a Lord of the Rings marathon watch or rewatch over Christmas, like this is shorter than one of those films. You can watch the whole show. Tim Robinson, this is his sketch show, and it's completely surreal comedy. So whenever you watch the first episode, you're either going to decide you completely love it, or you'll know immediately that is like, what the is going on here? It is not for you. But please do give it a go.
So we're going from one of the funniest shows of 2021 to one of the absolutely saddest shows of 2021. Believe it or not, this actually did drop this year. It was January this year when we were all at home at our most vulnerable because we couldn't go out and see our friends and family. It was It's a Sin, which tells the story of 3 best friends who move to London hoping to enjoy their newly out and proud LGBTQ lifestyle. But it coincides, 1981, with the peak of the AIDS epidemic. It is profoundly sad. It is also at times very funny, very emotional. The music, the soundtrack in it, obviously, early 80s is phenomenal. The cast in it is fantastic. But you will only need to see this once. So if you haven't seen it, absolutely do, because it's a very important watch. But if you have seen it, you're probably nodding along going, yeah, that was great, and I'm never ever watching that again.
Another TV show that feels like it was released a million years ago, way back in January 2021, is WandaVision. Since then, Marvel have released some other TV shows: The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, most recently Hawkeye. But they started off with a brilliant bang with Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen reprising their roles after the events of Avengers Endgame. Now, loads of Marvel fans obviously fell in love with this TV show. It was a very exciting event, episodic, weekly show to watch. But loads of people who maybe aren't the biggest fans of comic book movies or superhero shows, actually just because the entire story and the quality of acting was so good. A lot of people did binge their way through this as well. So WandaVision, highly recommended, especially because it gave the underappreciated Catherine Hahn a chance to shine. No spoilers here, just watch the show, okay?
Our second superhero pick is a show that Marvel would never make because it is shockingly violent. It is Invincible, telling the story of a superhero who is voiced by J.K. Simmons and his complicated relationship with his son, who's voiced by Stephen Yeun. I was going to list all the famous people who do voice work in this, and then I looked at the cast list and I was like, this episode will be 3 hours long if I do that. So just take my word for it when I say, if they're famous, they've probably done voice work on this show. It's produced by Seth Rogen. It's written by the guy who originally created The Walking Dead. It does a thing with superhero stuff that we just haven't seen done before. There's a reason why they had to do it animated, because if it was live action, it would cost $1 billion to make into a movie. Just 8 episodes, perfectly set up for a full future within the Invincible universe. Arguably better than anything Marvel has done this year? Question mark. Check it out and decide for yourself.
Last but not least, it was never going to be anything else. It is, of course, Squid Game, the super sensational South Korean TV show that just took the entire world by storm. If you do happen to be the very, very, very final person who hasn't clicked play on it on Netflix yet, then this is a personal recommendation just for you. You're welcome. It is absolutely worth the hype. Very, very bingeable. The final of our top 10 favorite TV shows of 2021. That's pretty much a wrap on this week's show. We want to say a massive thank you to everybody who has watched or listened to the show or subscribed to the show over the past year. And thank you, everybody, for getting in touch as well. The hate mail especially has been absolutely... I know, Roy, you're a big fan of that. Would you please stop writing me those letters? But yeah, we want to say thank you to our pizza loving pals over at Chicago Town Pizza. The entire production team who are behind the scenes at the Big Review Ski. We literally could not do it without them. I know you never get a chance to see them, but they're all incredibly good looking people. So stay safe, have a wonderful rest of 2021, and we can't wait to see you all again in 2022. Bye bye.